Guys, how you doing? We're gonna go ahead and watch Bill O'Reilly's reaction to the government shutdown and Obamacare. And haven't made a video in a while. I'm gonna start making some videos because I make them when there's big issues, and I guess Obamacare is a big issue and the government shutdown is a big issue. And as you guys know, I usually stick to my videos.
You are about to enter
You ready?
spin zone. The factor begins right now.
Let's go ahead and see what he says today about the government shutdown.
Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. United States government shut down. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. The two sides are digging in. In this corner, President Obama, who says the Affordable Health Care law will go forward because it was legally passed. In the other corner, Speaker of the House John Boehner and the Republicans who say the law is chaotic and mandatory sign-up should be delayed by 1 year. And if that doesn't happen, the House will not pass a resolution to fund the government, thus the shutdown. At this point, neither side is compromising. A new poll by NBC is interesting. In it, the country is evenly divided at 49% over whether folks are confused by Obamacare or not. When asked if they are enthusiastic about it, just 24% say yes, 73% say no. But a new Quinnipiac poll is bad news for Republicans. On the question of do you support or oppose Congress shutting down the government over Obamacare, just 22% support.
I don't support it. What about you guys? Personally, do you support it?
If congressional elections were held today instead of November 2014, 34% said they vote Republican, 43% Democrat. Now, some pundits believe that number reflects how the Obamacare government shutdown mess is being reported.
The White House does not have much incentive because
they
think those trends are going to go in their direction by the end of the week or early next week at the latest, because again, the press is largely sympathetic to their arguments on this, that it's the House Republicans' fault.
And indeed, there is some angst over how the story is being played.
Why connect the funding of the government, the entire U.S. economy? Why bring it to this brink? Why not do it at all the other times all of the other 100+ Congresses have been able to fund the government?
Well, have you addressed that to the Senate? I mean, we've already offered a compromise. You're telling your listeners that we Republicans are holding this up and the government's going to shut down.
I think the Republicans did hold it, and that's why there's 74% disapproval on the Republicans.
And defunding it.
Am I a guest on the news show? Am I here to listen to the tirade?
You cannot
make something up. Am I a
make
guest
something
on your
up.
news show? Or are you here to give us a tirade?
Once again, Talking Points believes a compromise should be accepted. If Americans want to sign up for Obamacare, please do so. But if you don't, Mr. Obama should grant the same one-year waiver to individuals as he has to some companies. That makes sense, does it not? Let's see how the new law plays out and take it up again next summer before the midterm elections. Right? And that's the memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction. Joining us from Washington, Senator Ted Cruz.
Oh, great, guys.
So would you go for
this is
that
a treat for you guys right here. He's the guy to blame.
Well, the House of Representatives has already embraced that compromise. And I think you're exactly right. We've seen President Obama grant exemptions to big business and members of Congress. And this fight is really about, do hardworking American families get treated the same? Or is there a special rule for the ruling class in Washington?
All right, so I'm going to take that as a yes, that you, Senator Cruz, who have been in the lead as opposing Obamacare and the funding of it, would say, yes, I will accept a compromise here for the good of the nation. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's what I'm taking away from this.
Well, let me point out, Bill, 4 times already the House of Representatives has offered compromises. It's compromised over and over and over again, sent over bills to the Senate that fund the whole federal government, but also mitigate the harms of Obamacare. And 4 times Harry Reid has said, no compromise, no negotiation, absolutely nothing. In fact, it's being reported Harry Reid urged the president, don't even talk to congressional leaders. He can talk to Iran, but don't talk to congressional leaders.
Of course, he's going to bring that up. You can talk to Iran.
One side that's refusing to compromise.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Come
Come on,
But the
O'Reilly.
reality is that one side is being perceived by the American public, if you believe the polls, as the reasonable side. So what I suggest to you and the Republican Party is that you take this compromise. I'd strip out the congressional stuff, by the way. Just get it down to the folks. You want to sign up? Sign up. You know? Ask President Obama to grant you a 1-year waiver. He can do it by executive order. He can do it tonight. Okay? And then, okay, we'll go along with it, and then we'll revisit it next summer, because by then you'll see the costs, the deductibles, how many doctors bail. You'll see it all. It'll all be there. So that makes sense. Let's do it.
Look, Bill, what you're saying, you're listening to the American people. Right now, Harry Reid and the Senate Democrats are not.
All right.
And millions of Americans are hurting under
But
Obama.
you guys should hold a press conference. You, Boehner, and get 4 or 5 other Republicans, and just say what I said. You got to break it down and make it easier so that the press, and we just played the clip, can interpret your position. You see, that's what's happening.
But look, the press is always going to repeat the White House's talking points. That's what the mainstream media does. Look, the last thing the House passed was virtually identical to what you just said, and all 54 Democrats said, no, we're not going to treat hardworking Americans.
This guy thinks he's going to be a presidential candidate
But you got to
pretty
sell
soon.
it, Senator. You got to sell it to the folks who are watching football, dancing, singing, juggling, texting a little. You got to sell.
Yeah,
it.
everybody's dumb except these guys, right? Everybody's dumb except these guys.
Bill, let me point out something that in the interim, while this plays out, that we can and should be doing in terms of bipartisan cooperation. Yesterday, the Senate unanimously approved a bill the House had passed to say we should pay our military, regardless of what happens in a shutdown. That was the right thing to do. I praised Harry Reid on the Senate floor for not objecting, for allowing that to happen. Now, yesterday, President Obama gave a long speech where he talked about all the things that were going to lose funding during a shutdown. Border Patrol agents not being paid, the VA, shutting down national parks and the Smithsonian. I think we ought to pass continuing resolutions to fund every single
Unbelievable.
item, every single priority President
Statue of
Obama
Liberty
laid out.
cruise.
We should respond to his priorities. I agree with them.
Temporarily
And
closed.
we should
Amazing.
Go forward
All right,
and
but
fund
that's
the
a
Border
clever-
Patrol, fund the national parks.
That's a clever way, and you know you're on a factor tonight. That's a clever way of saying we'll fund everything.
Whoa, guys, I just dropped the phone.
Because that's what you want to do in the first place.
I was trying to read that
All
sign.
these things that you want, Mr. President, but no, Obamacare. So it's kind of a backdoor deal, Senator. I mean,
Well, but it's
I
not
admire the
quite, Bill. I mean-
strategy, but I know what you're doing.
But listen, it's not quite. What I'm saying is we should focus on areas of bipartisan agreement. So, for example, a continuing resolution that simply continues.
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop it there. There's no point of keep listening to this nonsense. They shut down the government. Most of the American people are blaming the Republicans. There's nothing. Common sense won't tell you that this is true. I mean, it is true. The Republicans made it to shut down the government. They could have stopped this. Now they committed political suicide. Anyway, guys, my next video is going to be the Sean Hannity's reaction to this. Have a good night.